Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I want to talk about some middle grade books that are on my radar for middle grade March. Middle grade March is a readathon that happens every March, and it's been happening for quite a few years now. This is something that was created by Krista from Books and Jams, Amanda from The Curly Reader, and Katie from Life Between Words. And together they host this big, long readathon during the month of March, and it all focuses on middle grade. And it's not something where, there's not a whole lot of rules. You don't have to read nothing but middle grade for March. If you read one middle grade in March, you've won. You've done it. Congratulations. They do have a group read that they do every year. And they also have challenges that they issue. If you want to partake in those, you can. You don't have to. And this year they even have merch, which is really awesome. So I'm going to leave all of their channels and middle grade related videos down below. So I'll have announcements and the merch videos for you guys for this year. So you can go check them out if you haven't yet. And I love middle grade March. And this year I'm going all in. I'm so excited for it. So what I did was I went to my shelves and I just kind of pulled all the middle grade books that I'm seriously thinking about, like really want to read this. This one's been calling to me. I want to read the next one in this series type thing. And these are the ones that I want to pick from. I am by no means expecting to read all of these books, but these are the ones that I want to pick from because I'm also going to read some other things in March that are not middle grade. I'm just going to. It's not my nature to read nothing but middle grade. So I'm going to break it up a little bit with some adult books as well. But these are the ones that I have pulled and set aside specifically for it. Okay, so the first one is a 100% for sure because this is the group read for March, and I was really happy they picked this one because I had this on my shelves already, and that is Pony by R.J. Palacio. R.J. Palacio wrote Wonder, which is such a fantastic middle grade book if you haven't read that one, but I read that one and loved it, and so when she came out with this one, I knew I wanted to pick it up, and I've heard really, really good things about it, so I did pick this up in the past couple of months, I think I did. This one follows a young boy named Silas, and he is living, I think, on like this ranch. And in the middle of the night, some horsemen come and take away his guardians, or I don't know if it's his father. I think it's his father, but they show up unannounced and they take him away. And Silas has no idea what to do. He's left by himself. And his only companion is somebody named Mittenwool, who's a ghost. And then shortly after, this pony shows up at his house. So Silas takes that as a sign that he needs to jump on this pony and he needs to go find his father. And so I think you are following his adventure, traveling by himself as a young boy with the only companion, this mysterious pony, and Mittenwool, and what happens from there. So I am very, very excited to read this. And again, this is the group book. So I believe they're going to have a live show for it too, which will be fun. But this will definitely be read. Okay, the rest of these are going to be kind of in categories. So I have a little stack here. So these are books that come from the different book carts that I'm working on this year, just kind of like areas of my house that I'm concentrating on. So I have a couple that were sent to me from publishers that I would like to read. I have one that was gifted to me a while ago, and then I have two from my Christmas book exchange cart that were sent to me from my friends. Okay, the first one that is a review book is one that actually came out a little bit ago, so it's not a new release, but the third book in this series is about to come out. And so I was sent the first book, and that is The Conjurers. This is book one, The Rise of the Shadow by Brian Anderson. And this follows a brother and a sister whose parents go missing, and they end up being in the care of their uncle, and his house is very mysterious, and they don't really know why until something big happens one night and they are introduced to the world of magic, and they find themselves at a place in his house where magic is real and it's happening, and they find out why they are being transported here. That's all I really know. That's all I want to do going into it. It is very short. As you can see, this is actually kind of for 8 to 12. So definitely like on the younger scale of things, but I think my daughter would like this too, my younger daughter, but it does have like full page illustrations throughout it, which Brian Anderson does, which is pretty cool. And hello, there's a dragon. I love it. So I definitely want to read this and see what I think. It should be really quick. But yeah. Next one that was sent to me for review is an arc that I requested. I was so happy to get it. And that is Kelsey Murphy and the Academy for the Unbreakable Arts. This is by Erica Lewis. This comes out on March 1st, which is perfect. And this one follows a young girl named Kelsey Murphy. And she is going to this magical school. And she, I believe, has kind of a family history of darkness. And you are watching her struggle with her legacy and what could be possibly expected of her versus how she wants to be, which is kind of a hero. And the tagline for this is, what if Harry Potter was sorted into Slytherin? That's kind of like the overall question if you want to think about it that way. So I am very excited to read this one. It's the first book in a new series, and I just can't wait to dive in and get into a whole new magical world with another magical school and see what I think. So this is definitely a high priority. Okay, so the next one here is a very, very short book that I think I could probably do in one day. This was a gift, and that is 11. This is by Tom Rogers. I was gifted this from Monica. Thank you so much, Monica. And this one follows an 11-year-old boy. I think his birthday is on 9/11. And I believe he is in New York City when 9/11 happens. And there's also a little bit of an aspect with a stray dog that I think he ends up rescuing, maybe because of, maybe after 9/11, possibly. I don't really know all the details, and the back is very, very vague. So I know it's a boy and this dog that he rescues, and it surrounds 9/11. I'm guessing that that's what this is. So I'm very excited to read this. Again, it's very, very short, and the chapters are super short. And yeah, I think this is something I could probably get through in one sitting, but I love that there's a middle grade that has 9/11 as like a main plot point here. And as you guys know, I've been wanting to read more like that. And I do have a couple of middle grade on my shelves. And this one I grabbed because number one, it's very short. And number two, it was a gift. Okay, these next two are books that were sent to me from my friends for our Christmas book exchange. The first one is Walk Two Moons. This is by Sharon Creech, and this is a Newbery Medal winner, which is awesome. This is an older book, and this one follows a young girl who goes on a journey with her grandparents to find her mother, I believe. This is a Native American story, which is awesome. And so you're going to follow her with her grandparents going on this journey and kind of what happens from there. I've heard really, really good things about this one, so it's definitely one I would like to get to. And the other one that was sent to me from Christmas Book Exchange is Sweep. This is by Jonathan Auxier. This one is actually Amanda's favorite middle grade book, so perfect thing to read during Middle Grade March, which she's helping host. Her favorite middle grade book. She sent it to me. I hugged it when I opened it because I was so excited. So I definitely want to get to this one. I think this one will be a big priority as well. This follows a young girl, and she's orphaned, and she ends up making friends with a monster, and I believe she's a chimney sweep. So I think that's where this comes from. So that's all I really know. I know next to nothing about this book. I know that Amanda 100% loved it. I know that Krista loved it, and then they are the middle grade experts for me. So this is going to be a high priority as well. Okay, let's talk about some series now. So I pulled 4 books that are part of a series in middle grade that I would love to be able to get to and just continue in those series. First one is The Keeper of the Lost City's Exile, which is the second book in the Keeper of the Lost City series by Shannon Messenger. I read the first book last year and absolutely loved it. Like, loved it. And I can't believe I didn't pick up the second book right away. And I definitely want to get back into this world and with these characters and keep going. It is a very long series. The books are all very chunky and they seem to get longer with every book, but I'm okay with that because it's fantastic. So I'm definitely excited to get back to this one. The next one that's going to be a little bit higher priority for me is the third book in the Land of Stories series by Chris Colfer. This is called A Grim Warning. And this is a series that my daughter Kaylin has read and loved. She has read the entire series. She has read everything that Chris Colfer has written, I think with the exception, I don't know if she's read his most recent or not. It's A Tale of Witchcraft, I think. I'm trying to remember if she read it. I think maybe she did. Anyway, she's read everything. And she loves the series, absolutely loves it. And she's been bugging me to keep going on this one. And I definitely want to. This has been sitting in my low-key priority pile for a very long time. I'm not kidding, guys. Just, I don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. So I definitely want to get back to this one. Again, this is the third one. And this follows a brother and sister who realize that they can be transported into a book called The Land of Stories, where fairy tales live. And you meet fairy tale characters along the way and see what actually happens in this world, what's going on behind the scenes. There's a lot of danger in it. It's really good. Okay, let's talk about this one again. You guys, why haven't I read this? Why haven't I read you? Okay, this is Hollowpox, The Hunt for Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend, book number 3 in the Nevermore series, which I keep saying is one of my favorite series. I pre-ordered this book. It came out in 2020. And I haven't read it. Shame. Shame on me. Shame, shame, shame. I don't know why. I don't know why. I have no excuses. So I'm not going to try to make any, but I would like to read it. It's book number 3. Book number 4 comes out later this year. So yeah. Another one that I grabbed, I don't know that this will be my highest priority one, but I did grab The War I Finally Won by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. This is the sequel to The War That Saved My Life, which is one of my favorite middle grade books. It is a historical fiction. This is a continuation of that, and it's only a duology, so I definitely would like to read this and, just kind of finish up that story. Again, it's not like the highest on my priority, to be honest with you. Like, if I can get to it, that'd be great, but it's probably going to sit at the bottom of my pile just because I don't feel super drawn to it quite yet. Okay, the last story that I'm going to talk about here for my pile of maybes are just books that I grabbed as I was looking through my shelves. I was like, yep, I want to read that. That one's calling to me a little bit. So the first one is another 9/11 story. This is Towers Falling by Jewel Parker Rhodes. Now, this is not something that follows 9/11 as it's happening, the way I believe 11 does. This one is like after the fact, and we are following a young girl who moves to a new neighborhood in New York City. She's in a new school and kind of having a little bit of a hard time acclimating. And then she is assigned by her teacher to do a project about 9/11 and what happened, and kind of gets her to work with some other kids, and they make some discoveries along the way. So definitely short. Again, I think this is probably one I could definitely knock out in one day if I really put my mind to it. So yeah, so that's on my radar. Another one I went ahead and grabbed is Maribel and the Book of Fate by Tracy Barrett. This one follows a young girl named Maribel, and her twin brother Marco is someone who has always been perceived as the chosen one. And in all the prophecies and something called the Book of Fate, he's been the hero, he's the one, he's the shining star, all that good stuff. However, Marco ends up being kidnapped, which was never in any of the prophecies or anything like that. So it's a total surprise. And Maribel finds herself on a rescue mission trying to find her brother and having to be the brave one and ultimately probably become the hero. So I thought it would be fun to maybe read this and see what I think. Maybe my daughter Layla would like it as well. I think it's on her grade level. She's in 5th grade. So I would like to give it a shot, definitely. And I believe this one might be on my These Books Will Self-Destruct video. I think I've already kind of forgotten what's on that what's on that list, which is good. That's the whole point. But I'm pretty sure this one was on there. So I went ahead and grabbed it. So Middle Grade March is a good excuse to knock this one out. Okay, and the last one that I grabbed that really was just calling to me, and it's been calling to me ever since I picked this up a couple months ago, is A Place to Hang the Moon. This is by Kate Albus. This follows a brother and a sister who are living, I think in London at the time when children were being placed on trains to be transported to the English countryside during World War II in order to save their lives, basically. And I believe our brother and sister are transported there. They're having a hard time staying with any one family, from what I'm understanding, and they end up finding a lot of support from a local librarian. However, the librarian, her husband is a German soldier, so she gets a lot of shun from that. But they end up really forming this connection and bond with her. So I've heard amazing things about this one. So it's definitely something I would like to get to. Okay, let's see if I can hold these up. Oh gosh. These are my maybes. Nothing, no panicking, guys. These are my maybes. These are like, if I can get to these, that would be awesome. If not, no big deal. They'll just go back on my shelves and it's fine. I'm definitely going to put them in a little bit of like priority on top type thing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. March is going to be really interesting. If you want to see what I end up picking up along the way, make sure you follow me on Goodreads. My link to my Goodreads is down below. Definitely follow me there. And obviously on Instagram, I will be posting every week what I read on my weekly What's on My Nightstand. So you can see there as well what I end up picking up. And I'm just really excited about it. I'm excited to dive into some of these finally. They've been sitting on my shelves for a very long time, many of them. And I'm very excited about it. So if you have not checked out Middle Grade March yet, please make sure you go check out all three ladies down below. Again, I will leave their videos down there and let me know if you're going to be participating. Again, there are some challenges issued. I am personally not going to be taking part in those because a lot of these books do not fit any of those. And I just want to go with what's on my shelves. So, and just kind of what I'm in the mood for. And that's what I'm doing this year. I'm trying to read what I'm in the mood for. So that kind of dictated a lot of pulling these. Okay, let me know your thoughts down below, and that will be it for me today. Okay, I will talk to you guys again soon. Hope you have a great day. Bye.